Hey folks, it's me again, and today I'd like to talk about a new system that we could have in the future. I'd like to talk about something that is called a resource-based economy. So what does that mean? It means that we will create a global network in order to manage all our resources so we can provide them without a price tag for everyone. So there will be no more countries, there will be no borders, but we will have communities, clusters you might say. Imagine these clusters like servers in a network. They have the capacity to store and exchange information, which will be people and resources. And each and every cluster in this global network should be able to sustain itself and also attain a certain standard of living. And if it fails to do so, it will be supported by other clusters nearby. And otherwise, if a cluster can provide an abundance of a certain resource, it is also obligated to share it with the system. So what we will have is we will have a dynamic system that constantly exchanges resources and information so that everyone can live in an abundance of these resources and information. But don't be mistaken by everyone will be a king and have everything, because that is not the goal. It is not the goal to have everything, but it is the goal to live with what the earth can provide. And we have to change this within our minds, because nowadays we have this standard of living when going to a grocery store that we have almost everything available at any time of the year. We can have bananas and strawberries, and it's like we can have almost anything at any time. And we're just so used to that we don't even question it. We don't even ask, is this really necessary? Do I really need that? And when we create this new society, we will also create a consciousness that will know that this standard that we have today, which we think it is a high standard of living, this standard will not be necessary. And you will not starve, and you will not have limited access to things, so that you will be restricted in your ways of development. That's not the case. You just have to change your view on what is really necessary. What do I personally really need? And it is not that I can eat bananas every day I want to. I mean, it's a good thing, but don't get me wrong, we only have limited resources, and we are about 8 billion people on this planet, so not everyone can eat bananas every day. Now, let me give you an example of an advantage of this resource-based economy, where information is always true, because there's no thing like competition. We're always collaborating and working together, so there's no need for withholding information. So let me give you this example. Today we have 2 companies working on mobile phones, on the development and research of the technology of mobile phones. And one of them, they make an advancement somehow in whatever. And what they're gonna do is, don't tell anybody. They don't tell anybody. Why not? Why do they do that? Because they want to make profit somehow out of their advantage. And that is That is not a bad thing in our system now. That's something completely obvious, because you want to make money, you want to make a profit, so that's what you're going to do. But in this new system, where there will be no such thing as personal profit or the profit for a company or whatever, we will only have profit for our whole species and the planet. So when there's a group somewhere on the planet, in, let's say, America or Europe or Asia or Africa or wherever, and they make an advancement in their mobile phone technologies, their information will go into the system immediately, and everyone will have access to this information in real time. So if there's another group of scientists somewhere else on the planet, they can work with that information instantly. And so it is a lot easier to achieve quality, efficiency, and sustainability. These three things will be our best friends in our new system. Like right now, they are the worst enemy, because no one is going to build a perfect car which is the most efficient and sustainable and has the best quality. No one is going to do that, because what they're going to do then is they're going to sell this car once, only once, because then whoever owns this car never will have a need for a new car again. Our current system lives from the waste of resources, and that is bullshit in my eyes. Not only in my eyes, but that should be obvious to anybody. And these things will not exist in this new system, in this new society. One of the highest goals this resource-based economy will have is that work will be for machines, so that we humans can live up to our fullest potential. We will only concentrate on creation, on development, on research, on discovery. That's the things that we really want to do. That's what we are really on this earth for. We're here for creation and for discovery and for exploration. That's what drives us the most. And this is totally possible. We see this in the industry nowadays, everywhere, that people lose their job because there's a machine taking it over. And that is a bad thing nowadays, because when people don't have jobs, they can't afford anything anymore, and the whole system will sooner or later collapse. Everybody knows that. But imagine this, if machines could really replace us as working people. We could use that as the greatest advantage ever. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great if you could do whatever you like to do? You could be then a filmmaker instead of a postman. Or you could do space engineering instead of working at McDonald's. You could do whatever you like. You could be an artist, you could be a writer, you could be a scientist, you could be a doctor, you could be a farmer, you could be anything you like. And if you say that people will stop working at all, I say that's not true. Because everybody likes to do something, not only lying in bed all day and watching TV. If you educate people so they have the desire to do something that is useful for the whole community, and if you give them the opportunity so they can do whatever they like, they're gonna do it. So there has to be clear for you now that there are solutions and alternatives to what we have nowadays. So again, it lies with you. Do you want this world to change for the better? Do you want to change yourself? Do you want to change some of your deepest patterns in your mind? Because they might be not so good and not so right. Are you willing to do that? And again, I'm not telling you that this way I'm talking about, that's not the only way. I'm not saying we have to do it like this. There's no other way. There are millions of ways. But with the knowledge I have, I'd like to inspire you. I'd like to give you this spark that will eventually light your fire, so you are willing to change something in this world and change something within yourself. And I know this can hurt. But don't you see the necessity of it? Maybe you're just fine right now, sitting in front of your computer, drinking, I don't know, Coke, whatever. And you think, why would I change? It's all fine, isn't it? No, it's not. It's not. And you know it. The thing is that only the closest problems in our life are the ones that concern us. No matter how big an issue might be somewhere else in the world. It doesn't matter. As long as you have problems within your field of view, these are the ones that concern you the most. But it's time to expand your view. Think globally. Think universally. Think as a unit. Try to be unity conscious. Because we're all one. We're all human beings. We're all in this universe, on this planet, together. And it's just destructive to not live and work together as one. Thanks for watching.